Look, that little Latin boy in drag is crying. Find out why that little Latin boy in drag is crying.
Oh, come on. I know what you want. Do you know what you career girls want?
Careers?
Same thing as every girl wants.
Oh, no, please don't do this. Please, no.
Daddy, some sugar.
Please, no. Please, no. Look, when a lady says no, she means... Get your hand off my dick, buddy!
Hello, I'm Katie, and welcome to Retromade, your pop culture rewind. Today, we're going to travel back to September of 1995, which is actually the latest or the most current movie we've covered to date. So it'll be a little different. We're going to be discussing a twist on an American road trip comedy with one of the longest movie titles in history. Too long. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. And as always, we'll touch on some other happenings of the time. And today I am thrilled to have Sunny and Brandy from Book of Lies, the podcast, here with me today. Did I get that inflection right, you guys?
I love it. Yeah. Come on, Katie. Come on. Yes, it was great.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. Tell us about your show.
So we have a podcast. Book of Life podcast. It's a true crime, scam, fraud, lies, cheaters, thieves type of genre.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've been doing it for it'll be 5 years next year.
Oh, really?
Really?
5?
It'll be 2024 next year.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Dang. I'm old.
So yeah, me and her, we do a podcast. It's a good time. Sometimes we like to have cocktails, but then we learn, hey, we shouldn't have 2 cocktails. That's what we've learned in the past almost 5 years.
I love it.
Cocktails are fun though, so you know.
They are. I agree. You guys are like, that's when I reached out. I'm like, these girls are my kind of people. I like them.
Thank you.
So yeah, awesome. So everybody, it is super fun. Their personalities really shine too. And you guys are sisters. Is that right?
Yes.
We are. Yes, we
That's
are.
super fun. Super
So,
fun. But yeah, check out
she's
Book
the
of Life.
older one.
I am.
I love that you wanted to make sure that was known. Well, so we have a few listener emails before we open the time capsule. So I'll share some of those. There's some really well thought out ones. And I'll get you guys input on those. Zoe Richardson, you guys have guested on his show, right?
Yes. So we've guested before together, and then we did I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, right? I believe that's the movie. I'm Gonna Get You
I've never
Sucker.
seen that one.
What? It's amazing. It's really
Okay.
fun. It's a Wayans film.
Yeah, it came out in like
okay.
1988.
From the
Oh, okay.
80s. So I feel like it kind of still stands up. It's a great movie.
It's hilarious.
And
There's one part especially that holds up now with the chick with the fake,
Shocking.
all the fake body parts, fake hair,
Oh.
fake butt, fake, just fake
Nails
leg,
too. That
fake
That
nail.
reminds me of a Tupac song. But anyways, so Zoe, I've guested on his show and he's guested on my show. And so he submitted. So on my show, a lot of times I like talk to the audience and I'll request feedback for stuff. I was asking in the North and South episode. Did you guys ever see North and South? Did you watch it in school? It was a mini series
I don't think so.
from like 1985, like history class, like Civil War era.
it sounds familiar, but if I did, it's a blur, and I really don't
Okay.
think I did.
Well, Patrick Swayze's in it, and that's why I covered.
Okay.
And I remember watching it in school. So in that episode, in that show, there's a love scene, and we've covered a lot of love scenes that Patrick Swayze has done. And so it occurred to me, he's really good at like sex scenes. So I deemed him like the king of love scenes. So I
Okay.
inquired if anybody else, I was like, is there somebody better? So he says, the second part of this letter addresses the leading male love interest character. That is, do I believe that Swayze is the greatest on-screen male love interest actor of all time? To be honest, I never thought of him that way. I've seen some of the most popular movies that cast him as this great lover, like the aforementioned Ghost and other movies like Roadhouse or Dirty
I love
Dancing.
Roadhouse.
Oh, so good. Oh my
Love that
God.
movie.
You have to listen to my episode on it.
I will.
And never quite connected the dots. He says, I'm not really into romances or soap operas. I don't really watch romantic comedies anymore, so I'm not a really good judge of this sort of thing. However, if I think really hard about it, then when I think of the greatest male film love interest actor, it has to be Billy D. Williams. And this is based entirely on just two films that I may have only partially seen: Lady Sings the Blues and Mahogany. I've actually not seen either one of those, so I can't. I'm sorry, Zoe. He says it wasn't just movies, though. It was his whole reputation. He was that easygoing, debonair chick magnet, both in real life and larger than life. Outside of Star Wars, my main exposure to Billy D was through his Colt 45 commercials, where he was just oozing, what do you call it? I guess I'd have to say sex appeal. Plus, my mom, my aunties, and my cousins all just seemed to swoon over him when he showed up on screen. He always spoke with that smooth, silky voice. Whenever he talked to women, that was basically how he was introduced in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, as a suave ladies' man. His first words to Leia were, "Hello. What have we here?" in the smoothest voice that a man might muster. After that, I'd have to go with Richard Gere. He has a similar charisma and charm, and I'm judging him mainly from the movies An Officer and a Gentleman, Breathless, and Pretty Woman. What do you guys think?
I feel like Billy D. Williams and him being around like black because he's they're like, "Ooh, Billy D," and then him saying that, and then that
Like a Denzel type,
yes,
like similar.
oh,
Right, yeah.
but Billy D.
But from the
That was
70s,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with
I
you on
don't
that.
see the Billy D. Maybe it's because I've only seen him as like an older person.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. But thank you for the email, Zoe. I hear what you're saying. And I guess what I was specifically referring to was Patrick in a sex scene, like having sex in a movie. Like he's really good at it. Like he's like very, like I am always like, oh, I want to be that lady right there,
I feel
That's
like
what I
the
was kinda-
first
That's
movie
funny.
I saw Patrick Swayze in was Dirty Dancing. It was just like, oh my goodness.
Probably, yeah.
Like for me, yeah, it
Well-
was just like,
He's nice to look at, right? I mean, and well, there's a sex scene in both Dirty Dancing and Roadhouse that is set to Otis Redding music. And so I'm like, oh my God, like it just is.
yeah,
Yeah.
great production. Great production.
Yeah.
That right music.
It does set the mood. Okay. So there's another one from the North and South episode. And this email is from Andreas. He says, hello, Retromade. So I figured I better move on from just YouTube and Facebook comments and send a proper email. I really enjoyed the episode on North and South. This series means a lot to me in terms of nostalgia, but also because I think it contains some of Patrick's best acting. For some reason, it doesn't usually come up when people are talking about him. Oh, great. I suspect because a miniseries usually doesn't rank as high as a motion picture. But like you said on your podcast, the episodes are examples of great drama. Everyone gives a believable performance, especially the main cast. I also look back on North and South with some fond memories. It was a show my entire family gathered around the TV and discussed characters at length. We didn't watch it when it came out. Probably we saw reruns 4 or 5 years later, or maybe it premiered later here in Europe. Yeah, I think he's like maybe in Scandinavia somewhere. So it's very interesting that they watched a miniseries about the American Civil War, right?
Maybe
Yeah.
for history.
Yeah.
Like, you learn about, you should be
Yeah.
learning about like other countries' history, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Europe does it way better. Like I feel like all the other countries know American history better than we do, right?
Sadly,
Yeah,
it's
because we're the
true.
newest
Yeah.
country. So,
Yeah, but also we're very like ethnocentric, in America. Anyway, so we feel like the world revolves around us,
yeah.
I just
So-
came across that word on a workplace
Oh,
video.
really?
Really?
Yeah. Like actually know what the real definition is on the
Uh-huh.
word. Yes. You're right.
Mhm. Mhm. So Andreas goes on to say, I remember that being the case with feature films anyway. We usually got to see those a couple of months later than in the States. I fully share your thoughts about the themes you touched on upon your comments on humans always repeating their mistakes and destroying beautiful, long-lasting things on count of greed, etc. This is why I fear we will never solve the climate crisis, but that's a different conversation. Totally agree. I went like a whole rant about how we're just awful as humans. Like we just never seem to get with the program, right?
Right. Right.
In any case, North and South, both series and novel, does a great job in presenting the complexity of war, and not just the American Civil War, but like MASH, another great television series. It could be used to comment on all wars and the fact that not everything is good versus evil. For the most part, you'll find good and evil on both sides of the conflict. I usually hate nitpicking, but I feel like I have to mention the character of Constance Flynn, later Hazard, wasn't a Southerner. She was Irish Catholic. And I'd like to add that Wendy Kilbourne, who portrayed her, is stunningly beautiful. Why she never climbed the list of Hollywood beauties like Charlize Theron or Halle Berry is beyond me. Just on this point, thank you for pointing that out. I realize that the way that I was talking, the way that I talk, I'm a little all over the place. So when I was talking about the cast, there were a few British people that were playing Southerners. And I think I may have alluded to the fact that I thought she was British. I didn't mean for it to come across that way, so apologies. I knew that she wasn't British. Now, I would like to point out that obviously Wendy Kilbourne, based on her name, that she is likely, her heritage is probably Irish Catholic, but she was born in America. I don't know if people know that, but she was born in America, and she married George Hazard, who was Pennsylvania. So they were from the North. Anyway, thank you for pointing that out. And then he says regarding the challenge, you may be right. I can't think of a single candidate to rival Swayze. Fascinating. Well, those are my thoughts. Thanks for all your hard work in creating such a fun and personal podcast. Sincerely, Andreas. Thank you so much for your email. Keep them coming, guys. You guys have any additional thoughts? You haven't seen North and South, so probably not.
I
I haven't seen it.
If I saw it, it was a long time ago and don't remember it.
It was in the 80s and it was a miniseries, so.
Yeah, probably didn't watch it.
Okay, there's one final email before we get into the time capsule. And this, I think, is regarding my last podcast. And let's see, which one was that? And we were talking about how, how like people from other countries, when they have an accent, but when they sing, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
That phenomenon. And so we were like, why is that? So Zoe sent an email about that. Also, I inquired about, I'd never seen Thundar the Barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen that?
Yes.
You have? So Zoe has too. I was like, I've never seen that. So he says, you ain't seen Thundar the Barbarian? Man, that was the stuff back in the day. Thundar was a post-apocalyptic fantasy show that shamelessly stole elements from Star Wars and Conan. Thundar was an amalgamation of Conan, Luke Skywalker, and Han Solo. He carried a lightsaber that he called the Sun Sword. Princess Ariel was a combo of Princess Leia and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Ukla the Mook was Chewbacca. Also has never seen Star Wars. They would go about a ruined future Earth fighting evil sorcerers, and it was glorious. If you can find it on YouTube, you should check it out. I might. And then he says, speaking of which, I came across, he shares this YouTube video, which I watched. This totally by coincidence. It's an explanation about why Brits and everyone else sing in American accents. The short answer is that it's because they're singing American music, and the American accent sounds better with American music. I did watch the video, and there's some good points. However, I'm not completely sold. The point was like if we sang opera or Broadway, it sounds different. There's a different accent there.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I just don't really buy that explanation. Like, I hear it, but what about the British invasion? Like, they weren't necessarily singing American music. It was just rock from wherever.
I feel like they didn't have accent singing, but they kind of had a certain sound.
The Beatles?
Okay.
The Beatles.
They sound British.
Yeah, like they have a
So
certain
does
sound.
Rolling
So
Stones.
in the UK,
But not when
what
they're
are they
singing,
listening
right?
to on the radio? What do they listen to? Like when he's like singing American music, is it different music over there that they're listening to? Is like a different style and presentation of the music. Just like with Caribbean music, they have it at you you could hear it and that. So you're like, okay, this is reggae.
That's true.
So
That's true.
do they have a different genre over there? Brit rock?
But the guy in the video was like, it's like they're imitating the way that we speak, but it can't do that without trying. You know what I mean? It's like if I try to do an accent, but if you sing, I just feel like that would be really massively hard to sing and try and put on an accent. It seems to come off naturally.
Like Adele, right? You know, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I hear it, and thank you for that contribution, Zoe. I still want more people to help me out with that. I feel like there's got to be more to it than
Ed Sheeran said because they listen to, American music. So they sing in the American accent because when they're singing the American songs, they're singing the song the way it's sung. So they also, when they make their music, they sing it that way as well.
That's more or less what the video was saying too. I just feel like that's hard. If that's not the way you speak, how does that naturally come out when you sing, you know?
If you're if
singing
you're
is different. I
used
guess.
to singing the
Yeah.
word, how if you're used to singing
Oh,
words
yeah.
a
You're
certain
mimicking
way,
it. You're mimicking
then
it, right?
well, you're singing. If I learn it this way, that's how I'm going to sing it, right?
Sure. That's
I'm not
true.
going to
Okay.
change it because that's how I speak. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can kind of see that.
Like country music,
Okay.
I would sing it in a country accent. I'm not going to sing it in a California accent because I listen to country music and I sing it the way country singers sing it because that's how I learned it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why my brain got stuck on you have to try to do an accent. Anyway, yeah, that kind of makes sense. All right. Awesome. Thank you for the email input, everyone. And if you would like your email to be read on the next episode, please send me an email, retromadepodcast@gmail.com. Let's open the time capsule from September of 1995. So I was like in junior high school, I think. I think we're all probably about the same age. Sunny's probably the baby.
I turned
She's
15
like, I'll take it.
in September of 1995. I turned 15. My birthday is in September.
I was in middle school as well, I think.
So these are fun because usually we're in the 80s. And so this is the first time. So according to Nielsen ratings of popular TV from the 95 to 96 season, we have ER,
Mhm.
Seinfeld, Friends. This is the first time those have come up. Were you guys Friends people?
So I love Friends, but I didn't start watching Friends until I got into college, which was
Okay.
like 2000. So, like me and my best friend like bonded over Friends. I like watched the box set, and I was still able to like watch episodes on TV. But I am like, I'm not gonna say I'm the number one Friends fan because I know all the like trivia and all the quotes and all the things. But Friends is my jam. R.I.P. to
I
Matthew
know.
Perry.
Perry. But I love.
I also have like the Trivial Pursuit Friends version. I feel like we could play the Friends Trivial Pursuit because I'm the same. Like I feel like,
I will
but I
play
haven't
with you.
watched an episode in a while. Do you guys
will-
remember Caroline in the City
Yes.
with
Thompson and Paul Reiser.
Leah? Yes,
Mhm.
was Paul Reiser in it?
Mm. He was
So
her
that-
husband.
That's Mad About You.
Oh, what? Okay, yeah. I just knew. Yeah, okay. Well, Leah Thompson. I knew that.
Yes, and so this was it. This is the premiere season for that, and it was also in the top ratings. The Single Guy, which was like a short-lived. It didn't last very long. It was like the dark-haired guy. I'm forgetting his name right now. Anyway, I don't know if very many people remember that, but Home Improvement, which I'm sure everyone remembers that, Tim the Toolman Taylor. I feel like I watched that a lot after school. I feel like those reruns were on.
They had ATT. That's ATT.
Yes.
He was like the middle son, with his hair, like the best
with the hair. Mhm. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
He was on all like the Tiger Beat magazines and stuff.
You should have seen
Boston
Brandy's
Common.
wall. You should have seen her wall in her room and it all.
He
like,
wasn't on there.
Yeah, it wasn't on mine either. Who was on your wall, Brandy? Do you have all the Tiger Beat
I
Teen
had,
Beat
yeah, I had DiCaprio, Mike Bitar, Edward Furlong.
stuff? Oh, very 90s.
Yes. And a few other stragglers that
Vin Sawa.
Devin
Oh,
Sawa.
that seems very 90s.
Devin Sawa didn't make it on my wall.
He might have been on my
By the time
wall.
he became popular, I took the wall down. I took all the posters down. But
Mhm. You got too big Big
I was
for
just
that.
like, oh, I want clean walls now.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Let's see. What are some other? Oh, NYPD Blue. That was a big one. Frasier, and I never watched Frasier when it was on. I'll catch a few episodes here and there. My co-host on the Rocky Show loves Frasier, and he likes the new version. I haven't seen it, but
There's a new version
there's-
of Frasier.
Yeah,
there's
like a
new
reboot.
a new series,
Oh,
a reboot or whatever.
yeah, like everything. Yeah.
Yeah, because we can't
Grace
make
Under-
original content or
No,
original
we
shows
cannot
on-
make we cannot. It's a problem. Did you guys ever watch Grace Under Fire with Brett Butler?
My mom watched that.
I watched it with my mom. Yeah, exactly. Her mom watched it.
I kind of liked that for some reason. And then Coach, Craig T. Nelson. I loved Coach.
Yes, yes, yes.
Like the dummy, the tall, blonde, dumb guy. What's his name? Bugging me now. The Nanny, you guys, The Nanny.
The name-
She was working in a bridal shop in Flushing, Queens, till her boyfriend kicked her out in one of those crushing scenes. What was she to do? Where was she to go? She was out on her fanny. So over the bridge from Flushing to the Sheffield's door, she was there to sell makeup for the father some more. She had style, she had flair, she was there. That's how she became the nanny. Who would have guessed that the girl we described?
It's one of my favorite shows, like Golden Girls, Friends, The Nanny.
Mhm.
I love it. Did you guys like The Nanny? I love Fran Drescher. A lot of people don't like her voice, but I adore her.
I still watch it like
It
late
was
at
a fun
night
show.
when it's on like TBS.
Yeah, same. I'll like fall asleep. I need something to fall asleep to. And yeah.
Fall asleep to Friends. Like I was
Yep.
definitely more Friends, Golden Girls. But like kind of whenever her mom was watching, like she was watching ER and my
Mhm.
people like we were watching as well.
Yeah.
So because in the day we didn't have TVs and cable in all the rooms.
Yes,
Or
we did.
devices, phones or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah. I just love Fran Drescher and The Nanny. She was such a style icon, like all her outfit. Like she's a nanny, but she's buying like designer clothes all the time.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy.
Because she got put out by her rich
She was a makeup
husband,
artist
fiance or whatever.
or a hairdresser. or
To be
Yeah.
something.
fancy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Roseanne was the last one of the top ratings. I also, this is one I'll still watch now. It's really good. I know she's
Lost her
I
mind.
don't know what happened. Yeah, she's lost her mind. But back in the day, that show was really good.
Yeah, Darlene was
I don't
always
know,
my
I really
favorite
liked-
character.
Really?
I loved Darlene.
I like Aunt Jackie.
Oh,
I don't
Aunt
know.
Jackie.
Somehow I like relate to her.
Really?
Yeah, I like Aunt Jackie.
Yeah.
So then there's some notable finales and premieres that weren't necessarily in the top ratings. Matlock. I feel like there's a new version of that.
I wouldn't
Like
be surprised
another
if there
reboot that they're
was.
doing.
hope
Yeah.
That would not surprise me.
I hope not.
That wouldn't surprise me.
They're everything they're redoing. The Jon Stewart show, which was on MTV, and
Mhm.
I didn't know this existed. But this was like it was before the days of the Daily Show. He had a show on MTV, and this was the finale. I love Jon Stewart. Like I want him to be our president. I love him
Is
so
he
much.
trying? We need
No,
viable
but I think he
candidate.
should. I think he should. He's freaking fantastic. And Blossom. You guys remember Blossom with Maya Bialik?
Yeah.
She loved Block.
I loved Joey Lawrence.
Joey Lawrence.
Yeah. Was he on your wall? Was he on your wall?
There was like one or two pictures of him.
He was.
Mhm.
He was.
He had a mullet,
bad.
like he had that long hair, and it was like a cute mullet though. It wasn't like
Yeah.
super short.
I
and,
wouldn't even,
you know.
I don't even know if I would have classified it as a male, but it is probably, you're
yeah.
right.
But yeah, I remember.
Boys had hair back then. I mean, they had hair now, but
It was
You
the
know.
like the long,
Yeah.
like in the front, like the floppy. Yeah.
They don't comb it like now they comb it forward and it looks really ridiculous, like it's covering their
Yeah.
face. Before it was back so we could see their whole face.
90s hair for sure.
90s boy
Star
hair.
Search. This was the last year for Star Search.
Was it really?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I think we watched
I
Star
think
Search
a
in the
lot of
80s.
people got fun there started on
Fame.
Star Search.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Agree. Yeah.
Wasn't Beyonce
Oh.
and like Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears on Star Search? I feel
Justin
like they
Timberlake
all were.
was on
Ooh.
Star Search.
They were. I thought they got famous from like the Mickey Mouse Club or something.
I think that's
Yeah.
how they got onto the Mickey
got-
Mouse Club.
Oh, yeah.
They were little on Star Search though, like little, like
Okay.
5
Tiny
and
kids.
6 and 7. You know, Mickey Mouse Club. They
Dang.
were tweens.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I like it. Then also endings Empty Nest, which was the Golden Girls.
I loved that show.
Me
I really
too. I like
liked that show.
Dreyfus,
Yeah,
the dog.
the dog.
Big shocker. Full House ended in 95.
Did it?
And then they came back. And
Yeah.
then
Did
they
you guys
came
watch
back.
the reboot at all?
My oldest did. She liked I like watched a few episodes, but my oldest really, really liked the reboot. And so I would just
It's
watch
all
it.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Did you guys watch My So-Called Life?
Yes.
On MTV.
One season.
Jordan Catalano.
One season.
Yeah. It was so
It really
good.
was. It was really good.
Was it Jared Leto and Claire Danes, right?
Yes.
Yes, and
And
that was
AJ
back when
Langer.
Jared Leto was
AJ Langer, her. Yeah.
yeah, she was she was the coolest. But I don't know, I'm like talking about somebody on my wall. I had Jared Leto as Jordan Catalano on my wall. Like he was HOT. He's kind of weird now, but he was back in the day. Do you guys remember the show Models Inc?
Yes. Garcelle
Yeah.
Beauvais was on there.
Yes, she
Oh my
was.
gosh.
Linda Gray.
It is a ridiculous show. I think it was like a spinoff of one of those other Aaron Spellings.
I want to
Aaron
say
Spelling.
not Melrose.
It was
Place,
Melrose Place.
but-
Maybe,
No, it was
yeah.
Melrose
Melrose
Place.
Place.
Because I was into that. I was like, let's go. Beverly Hills 90210, Model B. I think that started my addiction for the Real Housewives.
Oh,
Models
I can
Inc.
see that.
I started wearing brown
Aaron
lipstick
Spelling
because of
Con.
Models Inc.
I had this upset, like the 90s were the era of the supermodel, and it was very unhealthy
Yes.
for, people our age trying to be like, 22-inch waist? How's that possible? What? Because like I had the magazine 17 and it showed the models and all of their measurements and stuff. And
Yeah, that's weird.
yeah, I
That's
was like
not healthy.
obsessed with like models and thinking that I should look like that. And I didn't. So, but I loved it. I had a weird obsession with models.
Yeah, Models Inc.
So I liked it.
Was a show. I liked it.
I mean,
Mhm.
what was Tyra Banks' show, America's Next Top Model? I used to watch all this season, and I thought that show was great. But I was like, oh, I'm just half an inch too short because I'm like 5'6.5", and I said models
Mm.
have to be like, okay. Oh, what? You stolen
Yeah.
like model at all?
No, I mean, I'm not tall enough. I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but
Right.
yeah, then there were also, so 95, I feel like this is really interesting. On MTV, two shows that ended, both Headbangers Ball and Yo MTV Raps. I feel like this is the beginning of the end of music videos being played on MTV.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's just all
reality
reality
things, yeah.
shows.
Mhm.
How'd they do
That
this
was Real
to us?
World,
Oh my gosh.
Road Rules, and then a bunch of other crap that started coming on
And
there.
the challenges came out.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's why we're so into really the Real House, because just
Yeah.
seeing like real life situation, not some producers behind there like making drama and content and getting to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, back when it was real reality, pseudo, what? Yeah.
Yeah,
What,
when they had
mhm.
characters like Puck.
Yeah.
God.
Speaking of Road Rules, this was its premiere season. So, yeah, they're like out with MTV Raps, in with Road Rules.
Interesting.
Hmm. Also, Singled Out on MTV. This was
Yes.
its premiere show. You guys,
I watched it.
I remember thinking it was so great. This summer, I got together with some girls I went to high school with, and we're just like reminiscing about, and we're like, let's find an episode and watch it. It's freaking awful. It's horrible.
It's terrible. And the categories, like
But-
they'd be like, "Oh, do you like blondes or brunette?" They'd like eliminate a whole group of women by hair color.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
what?
Yeah. The dumbest things. But that's how Jenny McCarthy got famous. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jenny McCarthy. That was her first
Mhm.
show.
Yeah, and then after she left, Carmen Electra took her place.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Mhm. Just the brunette version,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
basically.
Pretty much.
Some other premieres were Jag,
Mm.
Sybil, The Naked Truth, that Taya Leone show.
I watched
Drew
that. That one was
Carey
about a
show.
tabloid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched that one.
I like her, and I watched that too. The Drew Carey show, which ended up being kind of a big deal.
Loved that show too.
And
I
News
loved Drew
Radio.
Carey. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought News Radio was a really smart show. I liked that also.
Yeah. And then Phil
And
Hartman died.
yeah, Mad TV. I thought that was long before, but it was like the SNL
Mhm.
knockoff?
I
Did you
liked
guys
it
ever
better
watch
than
that?
SNL, to be honest.
I
Yeah.
did too.
That's
I did
Walt
too.
Stewart and, you know,
Stuart
Miss
Smalley?
Swan. Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Lifters are dirty people with dirty hands.
That's right. Now you go take that off. We're marching right back to Marshall's to return it. Go on, let's go. Come on, Stuart, let's go. I want to wear it. No, Stuart, no, come on. We gotta go. Stuart, that suit does not belong to you. Now you go take that off. Stuart, I want you to take that off before you get your go-go all over it.
Look what I can do.
my God.
Yeah.
I think
It was so good.
a lot of people, that show was hilarious. Don't get me wrong, it was like weird and it was just like,
It launched
it
a lot of
was,
careers too. Bobby Lee was on there. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Jim Carrey. Weren't some of the weigh-in?
They were on In Living Color.
Oh, I forgot.
That's the
That's
show
who I'm
Jim
thinking
Carrey
of.
was on.
That's the
and
Jim Carrey one.
Wayans.
Mad
Yeah.
TV. Yeah. I'm thinking, yep, you're right. I forgot about In Living Heather. Mad TV.
That TV was Lamar, Deborah Wilson, Michael McDonald. What's her name?
Nicole
Stewart.
Sullivan.
Nicole Sullivan. Yes.
Yeah. Who played Miss Swan?
What is her name? Oh my gosh, she's in a lot of stuff right now too.
Yeah, she is. I'm blanking on her name, but that was a really solid show,
Mhm.
and it didn't
Yeah.
last very long then. Apparently,
They brought on a bunch of, you know how they do. New seasons come out and they bring in new
Mhm.
New cast
castmates,
members.
and then you just
yeah, it goes downhill fast. Yeah, yeah, and then a little network. Do you guys remember the WB? It debuted in '95.
Yes.
WB.
WB. That frog. Michigan J Frog.
Oh, you even remember the name?
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Michigan J Frog.
So some of the shows that came out on it in 95 were Pinky and the Brain,
Mhm.
the Wayans Brothers, and Sister Sister. I watched all of those.
Mhm.
Same sense, same girl. Yes, yes. I like Pinky and the Brain. What are we gonna do? Brain. I'm sorry, I got it back. But yeah, and it wasn't like was Tiny Toon Adventures on that too? Like because I
Yeah,
thought
Tiny
it
Toon was on.
Oh, I'm confusing them all.
But
Gosh, you have such a good memory.
Animaniacs was on W.
the Animaniacs.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
Do you guys watch Sister Sister with Tia and Tamara,
Yep.
the twins?
Of course.
Did you watch it enough to know which one was which?
Yeah.
One of them had a mole
Yeah.
here, one of them had a mole there. Like they had like different mole placement.
Oh, they did. I thought. At any rate, it took me a while, but after a while, I was like, "Oh, I know that one. I don't know which one's
That
which
one's
now, but-
Tia, that one's Tamara. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to music, you guys. Billboards. There are some really good ones. This is like our era. I feel like I remember this better than some of the 80s stuff when I was a wee little one.
Oh, wee baby.
So September, the week. So this is a very specific week. The top 10 from September 8th, 95. Gangsta's Paradise is the #1 song.
Oh my god.
Higher learning.
Yeah.
Dangerous Minds.
Yeah,
Dangerous
Dangerous
Minds
Minds.
with Michelle Pfeiffer, right?
Yes.
That was just huge. It's actually I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember it being pretty good. Also, I learned literally this week when I was putting this together that the artist is Coolio featuring LV. Who's
Oh,
LV?
who was
I don't know
LV?
who that is.
Some crooner who knows how to sing, you know, The hook. He
Mm.
knows how to sing a hook. R.I.P.
Then the number-
Coolio, man. Like,
yeah, God, gosh, yeah.
people
Oh
just-
my God, there's going to be a lot of RIPs. I feel
Oh
like.
gosh, terrible.
Michael Jackson, speaking of which, he had the number 2 song with You Are Not Alone. Do not like that song. And also, number 3, Hate It. Kiss from a Rose by Seal.
Seal.
Oh my God, it was just all over the place, and I don't like
oh yeah,
it.
that was from Batman Forever, right?
Yeah. I don't, never, I'm just not a Seal fan.
I feel like
don't
they
get it.
play his songs out like they're first, like, hey, this is a nice jam. But then it's just like continuous. And you're like, Seal, I'm kind of sick of you, man.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
your
yeah.
fault,
I'm kind of sick.
But
That's what it is. Yeah, I think that's probably right. And then I don't know if you guys heard of this little tune, Waterfalls by TLC.
Oh yes,
You guys, this album,
I had that one.
was that the Crazy Sexy
Yeah.
Cool?
Red Light District. Oh, Crazy Sexy Cool.
Yeah,
That album, but the
Red
I
Light
think Red Light
Special.
Special was on
Mhm.
that. I mean, that's
And
one.
Creep.
That's one of the. That album is one where you don't have to skip any.
Yeah,
They're all good.
yeah,
They're all bangers, 100%.
yep.
R.I.P. Left Eye.
R.I.P.
And then remember Boombastic by Shaggy? It was the number 5 song.
Shaggy.
He's so
Call me
hideous.
Mr. Bustic.
Now, speaking of the accents, he actually still has an accent when he sings. So, yeah.
Where is he from?
Like,
Uh,
He's
some island.
Jamaican.
I want to
Is he
say,
Jamaican?
I want to say Jamaica, Bahamas, somewhere like that. He like an island,
Yeah. I
you know.
feel like Shaggy's.
Probably, yeah.
one of those.
I feel like that's right.
Okay.
And then All for Ones, I Can Love You Like That is number 6.
Cool.
I used
So
to love
good.
that song. Oh my gosh. Oh, you've like triggered my heart. That's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of memories that I went through in that song, but like, I just feel so warm and gooey on the inside right now because you mentioned that song.
That song. got
Does
on
it
my
remind you of a
nerves.
boy? Like a certain boy or
I
something?
have no idea. Maybe. I have no clue. I'm just hearing the song playing in my head right now. It's
Mhm.
really nice.
Can't stand that song.
You don't, is
It's
that your
annoying.
seal? Yeah.
It's just an annoying song. Like, yeah,
think
it's
it
one of
had
those
their
ones that they
album.
play. And you know how they used to have like every weekend or every night they would do like the top 5 or top 10 or whatever, and that song was on so long. And I was just like, oh, I don't want to hear this
Yeah.
song
It's a
anymore.
great song.
Yeah, sometimes they overstay their welcome, don't they? So Vanessa Williams sang the theme for Pocahontas, Colors of the Wind. I had forgotten about this, but it was the number 7 song.
In '95.
love-
Wow.
95, Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's talk about an annoying song. Hootie and the Blowfish, Only Want to Be With You. Can't stand it.
I honestly, like, every time you say a song, like, it pops into my head. Oh,
I don't know. What do you guys have thoughts on Hootie? I don't get it. I don't get it.
The only thing
Don't
I
like
love
him.
about that song is that on TED they made fun of that song, and he was like, "A-I-O-U."
And in Friends, Monica made out with a blowfish. Remember
Right.
they go to the concert?
the blowfish.
blowfish.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Like, Hickey.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Gross.
Because they went to the concert. Okay, I can tell you that episode.
Yep.
So that
Yep.
episode was when, like, some friends had money and some friends didn't, and it was awkward. Like, they went out to dinner, and Phoebe got, like, a little salad, and they tried to split the bill 6 ways. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, I only got, like, a salad, and she got mush, and I got to pay this.
Mush.
And then, like, Ross or somebody, it was
Joey
Ross or
just got
Chandler.
this tiny little pizza.
Yeah. Don't.
Yeah.
No. And then someone had tickets and they didn't want to take charity, and then they went to the Hootie and the Blowfish concert. I think it was
Yeah.
Chandler. Something like that. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Blowfish.
Oh my God.
I
Jeez.
remember that one.
I know. I very, very vividly.
Mhm. Yeah.
I do, even though this might be one that annoys people. The number 9 song is "Run Around" by Blues Traveler.
I like that song.
I did. Yeah, it's like a different
I
sound.
liked
think
Blues
that's
Traveler,
why.
but John Popper's
Me too.
crazy. So
Is he the main guy? Is that who
Yeah.
he is? Who's he?
John Popper, he's the
Okay.
singer and he plays a harmonica. And
Yeah, I mean, he has a very interesting look to
Yeah.
him.
But he's
so
crazy. Like, he's a gun toter, like, total just woo out there.
that doesn't surprise
Yeah.
me based on how
I think he got
He
kicked
looks
off a
like it.
plane for having a gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, recently, like, in the last 5 years.
Okay. Well, he was also there was an episode of Roseanne where Blues Traveler was
Mhm.
like playing. Yeah.
And Dan
I
was in the
remember that.
band.
Yeah, and Jackie thought that the song was about her.
Get over yourself. Jack.
Okay, you guys, the number 10 song is like my childhood wrapped or adolescent. It is like one of the best songs ever made, and it's sort of ridiculous. I Got 5 on It by Lunas.
Oh, gosh.
Do you go, I got 5 on it. It's literally a song about sharing a bag of weed,
Yes.
but it's so good. Do you guys like this? This is like us in Nebraska. Like, I grew up like this was it. We loved this.
Everybody
song.
was smoking weed to that song?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, probably, but like we probably didn't even realize the words. It was just like the beat. I don't know. I like.
I
when
don't
this
think I
comes
was
on-
listening to I Got 5 on It in 1995, 100, but in college, like at
Yeah, yeah.
it's stuff,
Oh, for sure. Yes,
that's
college
when
parties.
that song was like. That's where it kind of hit me like, at that era in my life.
Same. I feel like same.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Creep on in, on in, on in. Whoa. See, I'm riding high, high. Whoa. Kinda broke, you see me, y'all. So all I got is 5. I got 5. Player, get
About everything. I freaking love that song. Okay. News and event. Before we get into the movie, again, this is September 1995. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum opens in Cleveland, Ohio. I sort of assumed that it opened way before 1995.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Wow.
hmm
Okay.
The magazine George premieres, the magazine published by JFK Jr., also RIP.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
George.
The O.J. Simpson trial was in September of 1995.
Was it
Yeah.
95? I feel like that
Mm.
was like 93, but hey.
The trial
Yeah.
began
The
in
trial,
95.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh man. The
Mhm.
glove don't quit.
You must have
Man, oh
quit.
man.
That was one, like, literally America was watching that trial on TV.
I remember
It was-
hearing some little girl, like, I was, what were we, like, in a doctor's office? Somebody went to the doctor, and we were in a doctor's office, and there was a little girl who was like 8 talking about it with grown-ups. And I was just like, this is weird, because I wasn't paying attention to that. But I was like, why does this little 8-year-old know? Because she was like, they were talking about Kato Kalin and him,
Uh-huh.
staying in the guest house. And this little girl, they were like, oh, what's his name? She was like, it's Kato. And I was just like, why does this little girl know
True
this?
crime fan.
Go to school,
True
little
crime
girl.
fan.
Yeah.
Go to school, little girl.
Also, I don't remember this, but the American pop singer China Phillips from Wilson
Mhm.
Phillips weds American actor William, aka Billy Baldwin.
Of course.
I feel like he was like the cute one. I feel like I remember him being like the better looking one.
I had a
Hunter
crush on
Baldwin.
Stephen Baldwin in the 90s.
He's kind of strange looking, but yeah, I can see it.
In the 90s, because, he was the blonde
Mhm.
one. I feel like he was the bad one. So, of course, I had a crush on
Yeah.
bad boys. So, I was, yeah.
Full circle, his daughter's married to Justin Bieber, right?
William Baldwin's
Stephen
daughter.
Baldwin.
Yeah, I
no,
think
Stephen Baldwin.
no, Stevens. Is it Stevens?
Haley
I don't
Baldwin.
think
Yeah,
is-
Stephen.
yeah.
And he's like a minister
Oh.
or like super religious now or something. And
Steven
Uh-huh.
is.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so aside from Tu Wong Fu, which was actually the #1 movie at the box office at this time,
Okay, it better have been.
yeah, the other big movie releases, Mortal Kombat, Dangerous Minds, as we talked about, 7. Man, I remember
William
that
Baldwin
one.
was in 7.
He was?
Well, no, not. You know what I was thinking? Slither.
Oh, similar. Yeah. I was like, who is
Slither. I don't know why that popped into my head. Yeah. Okay.
Similar, I feel like.
Yeah.
A Walk in the Clouds, which was that like a romantic comedy or romance with Keanu? I feel like maybe. The Prophecy, The Usual Suspects, Desperado, Showgirls, and Babe. Those were the big movies. Okay. Ladies, as you know, this season of Retromade is focused on Kurt Russell and Patrick Swayze, who I have called the ultimate everyman.
I used to
Do you
confuse
guys
them
haven't?
when I was little.
Oh my
but okay.
God. Oh my God.
I used to think they were
Oh my
the same
God. I'm going to
person.
die. Okay. Well, we're going to come back to my first question because my second question about die, I might have to make a clip of that because I think they look alike.
Yes.
And so do you think they look alike?
I did, when I was younger, I really did. I was like, oh, that's Kurt Russell. It was Patrick Swayze. Oh, that's Patrick Swayze. It was Kurt Russell. Like, my mom always had to correct me because I literally thought they were the same person.
Brandy, you've now become my favorite person. You know what it is? Again, I think listeners are going to get sick of me saying this, but it's girls see it and men have a harder time seeing it. What do you think, Sunny? Do you think they look alike?
Honestly, I don't think I've ever gotten confused or thought looked similar. Like, that never crossed my mind before.
She's like, no. But thinking about it now, don't you think they have similar features? And like
maybe young Kurt Russell, because now I think of older Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah, no, think of like 80s, 90s version.
Overboard Kurt Russell.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had the same hair, like, for a minute.
They did, and they they're tough guys with hair.
Yeah.
And
yeah, jaw, real strong jaw, nice bone structure.
Okay,
I feel like Kurt Russell might be a little prettier than Patrick Swayze, but Patrick Swayze is more rugged looking, but they look the same.
Thank you, Brandy.
I'm going to abstain. I'm not even going to vote. I'm going to abstain. Okay.
Well, okay. Outside of that, then, do you guys have any particular thoughts or fandom about either one of them that you would like to share?
I like Kurt Russell. I mean, R.I.P. Patrick Swayze. I liked him when he was here. Like, I watched Ghost, and he opened my eyes in Dirty Dancing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I like Kurt Russell from Overboard and Big Trouble in Little China. I love that movie, and I love him and Goldie Hawn's their relationship. So I really like him. Like, them both.
Yeah.
But I don't think they look alike.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So, Point Break.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because Kurt Russell had that scruff. I mean, see, I just called him Kurt
Do you
Russell.
mean Patrick Swayze? Yeah.
Had that scruffy, that surfer guy look, and I was just like, ew.
Yeah.
I'm a
I
teenager,
forgot
I'm
about
like,
that. And Keanu was in there too.
Yeah, he
You
was.
like a blonde, don't you, Brandy? You seem to like the blonde dude.
I used to like the blonde dudes back when I was
Okay.
a teenager. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I did.
It's so funny. The reason I say that is because I don't. And so, like, Point Break, I was like, I don't really dig the blonde on Patrick. But, I mean, he still looked, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like, the way he carried that surfboard and he was the scene where they're walking away from the van and he's like telling Keanu Reeves, you need to like, bring it or whatever they said, I was just like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the tans, where they wore their pants, how they were low, and then that's how they got figured out by the tans, right?
Oh, yeah, tan lines. Yeah, you're right.
I was like, yeah, those tan lines.
Those tan lines. Well, thank you, ladies. Okay, now let's get into the movie. To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. PG-13 movie. It is a 6.7 on IMDb.
That's it?
And I think that's pretty good, though, because in doing this show, most things are like 6 or 7s. Like, it's really, if something is an 8, it's like the most outstanding movie ever. I feel like there's only a few movies that are in the 9s, and it's like The Godfather type stuff,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the director is Beeban Kidron, who I was unfamiliar with her. She is a baroness, apparently.
Oh, okay.
And she's most known for directing the TV miniseries Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit and a lot of other like TV movies and stuff. Also, Bridget Jones' The Edge of Reason, which I did not see.
Yeah, that one wasn't that great.
Okay.
You love Bridget Jones.
I
too,
did.
huh?
I love. Yeah, absolutely. Bridget Jones. Was
Oh,
amazing.
really? Let's see. The writer is Douglas Carter Bean, and this is his only really well-known credit. The music is by Rachel Portman. She's an English composer known for the Storytellers TV series, but she was nominated for Oscars for her scores for The Cider House Rules and Chocolat. So that's
Oh, yeah.
Rachel Portman. Now the cast, obviously we have our Patrick Swayze playing Vita. I want to
Miss
point
Vita
out
Boheme.
that, oh, Vita Boheme, yes. I wanted to point out that the film critic, Gene Siskel, in his review of this movie, he actually predicted an Oscar nom for our man Swayze for
Okay.
his performance. He did not get an Oscar nom for this, but I just wanted to point that out. And then we have Wesley Snipes playing Noxzema Jackson, and then Noxie, like I just like the
Your
shortened
Auntie
version is
Noxie.
Yes, John Leguizamo as Chi-Chi,
Chichi
and
Rodriguez.
apparently this role was written specifically for him.
Oh, that's awesome.
and
That's awesome.
he was such a cute little Latin girl.
Yes, he was.
Latin, whatever.
Little Latin boy in drag. No, he
Yeah, little Latin boy
he
in a
was
dress.
working it, like the way he was walking, like to just I was like they worked hard. And this,
Yeah.
like, they acted their asses off and like really brought
Agreed. Well, so both John Leguizamo, to your point, and Patrick Swayze were nominated for Golden Globes
okay.
for their roles in this movie. And then Stockard Channing, what plays Carol Ann, and that name might sound familiar because she was Rizzo in Grease.
Oh yeah, I love
Mhm.
me some Stopper Channing.
Mm-hmm.
She is good. Whatever happened to her? I feel like we don't see her anymore.
She was on what was it? One of those president shows.
Oh, okay. One of
One of those shows about the president.
Yeah, yeah. Blythe Danner plays Beatrice. And, she is Gwyneth Paltrow's mom. But I remember her most. She played Will's mom in Will and Grace.
Yes, she did.
And she's also in Meet the Parents. That's who Blythe Danner is. Carlos Howard plays Virgil. I didn't really recognize him. He played Private Cowboy in Full Metal Jacket and Lindroff in Tequila Sunrise. So those are his notable roles. But I recently watched The Killer with Michael Fassbender on Netflix. It's like a new movie out on Netflix.
I haven't seen
And he's in that.
The Killer?
He plays, it's like a new, I can't remember who directed it, but Michael Fassbender. It's interesting. I like it.
Okay.
And
Just for
this
Michael
Arliss-
Fassbender. So.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I think you'll like it. He plays the client, Claiborne, in that. Jason London, one of the, I feel like both he and his twin brother, Jeremy,
Mhm.
were all over the teen
Yeah.
in
They were.
95.
The London
Because
twin.
he plays Bobby Ray. And I think he's probably most known for playing Randall Pink Lloyd in Dazed and Confused.
Yes. And he was also in Man in the Moon with Reese Witherspoon. He was Court.
Oh, good call.
I still love that movie.
I feel like I've only seen it the one time.
Watched it a lot.
And then let's see.
Michael Vartan is
Chris-
also in that movie.
He is a young Michael Vartan, and he plays one of the super creepy townspeople,
Mhm.
predatory. Ugh. Yep.
He's the one that knocks he grabs his wiener and she's like, what else? And grabs him and he's like, now when you speak to a lady.
Puts him in his
Yes.
place. Indeed. Chris Penn plays Sheriff Dollard, and he's
Dollard.
He's in Footloose. Yeah, Dollard. It's Dollard.
Dillard.
Well, it says Dollard. It says Dollard. It's a misprint. He's Willard in Footloose. And he's also in True Romance and Reservoir Dogs. Also R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Chris Penn,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Melinda Dillon plays Myrna, and she is Oscar nominated for her roles in Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Absence of Malice. She was also the mom in Harry and the Hendersons and A Christmas Story. That's who Melinda Dillon is. That was Myrna.
Oh my gosh.
Beth Grant plays Loretta, and she's a super familiar character actress as well. She has 250 credits.
Yeah, she was in A Time to Kill.
Oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
right. She
I
was.
was like, oh, and she was in Speed. She's been in a lot of things.
She wasn't. Yep. 250 credits. Like she's in a ton of stuff. She was in the Mindy Project. She has a recurring character role there too. And then also the character actress Alice Drummond. She plays Clara, and y'all will notice her most from Ace Ventura. She plays Mrs. Finkel. She makes the cookies,
Laces out.
laces out like she's like a crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty then. I love Ace Ventura. And then we also have RuPaul in this. He plays Rachel Tensions and Julie Newmar as herself. And then we get a couple of cameos. Naomi Campbell. Did you guys see her? Did you guys notice Naomi Campbell?
I don't remember her.
She's a girl at the China Bowl, and she says to Wesley's character, I wish I could be as pretty as
Oh,
you.
yes. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, don't we all or
Which
something?
is, which is hilarious because Wesley Snipes is the ugliest woman, right? And Robin Williams cameo as John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Yeah.
His name is my name too.
He was really good. His character was really good, I thought.
Yeah.
He was in, he was smooth, he was out. Like,
That's, you know what?
Yeah.
That character, that was the first time I noticed that he was so hairy.
Oh,
he has-
really? Yeah, he is
All
hairy.
his hair was out. I was just like, oh, it's super hairy.
Didn't
Sorry,
he
hairy.
is? He, that's funny that's. Yep, he sure is. The budget for this was $30 million and it grossed $47.8 million. So, ladies, do you have any favorite scenes, overall impressions?
I have lots of favorite scenes.
You can go first.
One of my favorite scenes is the scene where they're at the pullover because Chi-Chi's being a brat. And so they're like kicking out, they take away her princess points. And she's in there talking, you two that I'm stuck up with that. And it's just like, oh my God, they are crazy.
Good impression.
And then she's like,
good impression.
you say stuck in this car like Mary Jo Kopechne. And I was just like, oh my God. And then I didn't know, of course, because I was young and had no idea about, the Kennedy story and all that stuff. But I was like, who the heck is that? And I asked my mom, I was like, who is Mary Jo Kopechne? And she didn't know. And then, a few years ago, that whole Chappaquiddick movie comes out and that's the name. And I was like, oh, they're referencing that in Tu Wong Fu? What? So yeah, it's just,
Great. Yeah. That is a good scene. She, I love her little, oh my gosh. She plays such a good Chi-Chi. Like her, he's like, you're not a drag queen, you're a boy in a dress. And
I'm just born a dress.
yeah. Okay, fine. You can be a drag princess.
Okay,
That works for me.
that's much better than a queen. Younger.
Younger.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so Patrick Swayze was around I want to say 42 at the filming of this, which is crazy because I'm 42.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. But Wesley and John are both 10 years younger than that. Just for
They're the same age.
funny.
Wow.
approximately, they're a year difference. Yeah. I would have thought John was younger.
Yeah.
But
Wesley.
no.
My favorite scene has to be with the girl when they go into the vintage shop and then they just turn it out and they find
Yes.
the clothes. And Wesley has the French skirt and she's like, give it. He's like, oh,
No,
and she's
this is for me.
for
This is mine.
I love that scene where they're coming out and they're strutting their stuff and then Stockard Channing's across the street watching them. And
Out the
then
window.
Virgil, her husband, is a jerk. He comes in and he's like,
Making fun of her dancing.
making fun of her. Like, abuse is not funny, period. But the way they shot that scene with the ladies having a good time and, her watching, wanting to be there. And, then the husband comes in and ruins.
Of course he does.
That is my favorite scene. Just for some reason, I love that scene.
Well, there's a lot of, to that point, there are a fair number of like mini montages in this movie
Yeah.
that are all kind of fun. Like that's their little fashion show. They get their hair, they all get made over, and then the 60s clothes. Then there's the room makeover little
What?
montage.
Yeah.
And then the neighbors
yeah,
are watching. They're just like, close the blinds. You guys don't need to see what I'm doing in here. Like,
Yes.
What other favorite scenes you got, Brandy?
I like the beginning when they're doing their makeup for the show and that song, Body Beautiful. I was just like, oh my God, this is awesome. They're just like, they're putting their makeup on, they're putting their dresses on, doing their thing. We only see Vita and Noxie, though. We don't get to see Chi
Noxima.
Chi getting ready for the contest or whatever, the drag show.
Well, because
Chi-Chi
she's
walks
not
across
as
the
like,
street.
yeah,
Yeah, she's running across the
She's-
street. Late.
With her wig on the doll.
she's a little more like broken down drag queen.
Yeah,
than- yeah.
exactly.
I also, so I did make note to your point, Brandy, that that opening scene. I love that this movie like takes everything and kind of turns it on its head a little bit. So we hear it's a shower, like there's it's a Man's World by James Brown, which is so good. And there's somebody singing in the shower, and it's a man singing It's a Man's World in the shower. It comes out and it's Patrick Swayze, and he like barely covers himself with a towel. I'm like, yes, please, thank you for the immediate payoff. He looks so good. I'm like, damn, you're 42. I'll take that. But then he sits down and starts making himself into a woman. It's just great. And then, yeah, the montage splitting back between him and Wesley, like all the women's, I don't know. It's great. Putting on their like stockings and corsets and makeup and becoming women.
Yes.
Yeah, the cutlet.
The chicken
Yeah.
cutlets. Mm.
Yep. The I had to write them down because in the movie, like throughout, so the idea is that there's this road trip. I'm mixing up like Wesley and Noxie, interchangeable, and Patrick and Vita, interchangeable. So they win the contest and they win a trip so they tie, and the prize is a trip
A
to
tie.
yeah. How do you have a tie for a beauty? It's like a drag contest, and they win a trip to Hollywood to compete in like the America drag pageant. And then they find this poor little drag boy in a dress.
Little
Poor
Latin
little
boy
Latin boy
drag.
in a dress. Yes.
Look, ask you why that little Latin boy in drag is crying.
Little Latin boy drag.
So they go
Why
on
are you
this
drag?
road trip, right? Yes. And throughout, they make John Leguizamo, Chi-Chi. He's like, why can't I be a drag queen? Well, we'll make you into one by the end of this. And so there's 4 steps to becoming a drag queen, or for true queenliness or whatever.
Mhm.
Which he totally
And it-
makes up. He's like,
He's like,
On
well,
the
what are
spot.
they? Yeah.
or
You'll know them. When we get to them, we'll tell you that you've made them. So they are the first step is God grant the serenity to accept being a boy in a dress, the courage to change with the fashions, and the wisdom to know the difference, which is amazing. 2 is ignore adversity. 3 is generosity, putting someone else's needs before your own, abide by the rules of love. And 4, larger than life is just the right size.
I like when Chi-Chi gets her second point, which she avoids adversity when she goes into the hotel, because like she's just like tired, like I'm not sleeping in the car. Just walks in, and they happen upon a women's basketball league meeting. So they were like, "Oh, welcome, ladies! Of course, you guys are here. No problem." And Wesley's playing basketball with those women.
Oh, I
Like,
forgot that.
When he he just throws in line a layup on them and just like floats, and he like does a cheerleader kick.
a la White Men Can't Jump.
Right.
Right? Like,
Yes.
Yes. Oh my
another
gosh.
thing that reminded me of White Men Can't Jump is the over the top, like stereotypical accent that Chi-Chi has. First of all, I loved it, but it reminded me of like a cheap version of Gloria from White Men Can't Jump, like Rosie Perez's
Oh, okay.
character. I
Okay.
really liked it. He really played it up, and I was there for it.
That's hilarious.
I watching it again, of course, just watching their asses off in those roles. I felt like it was seamless. There wasn't anything that I was watching and I was just like, No, like they were very feminine, and the way they walk, the way they talk, I felt like it was well done.
I agree. The voices, that's where my brain goes all over the place. But I hadn't seen this since probably 95 or 90, so watching it the other day, I was like, oh my God, the voices, like, especially like Patrick Swayze. He's got a very deep voice.
Ooh, get your hand off
He
my
has-
dick.
Yeah. Aside from that part, he's like, please tell me who this Latin boy. He comes with his, and then, yeah, oh my God, that actually, there's a bit of trivia. So the point that Brandy is referencing, listeners, is he is about to get raped by Chris Penn's character, the sheriff.
Sure, Dullard.
And puts his hand up his dress and he like throws him to the ground, and they think they killed him.
Right. Yeah, they thought he was dead.
That was like, he was not thrown that hard.
No
like he
shit.
hit the ground and he just died. Like he stopped from a push. And maybe because,
Maybe he hit his head on the
Vita is so strong, because Vita is so strong, he was there until the next morning. He didn't wake up at all through the
He
night. Like
passed
he
out.
thought he was in bed
knocked out.
sleeping.
When I was watching it, I actually wrote a note. I'm like, really? He died? Because I didn't remember what happened. Nope, he didn't. But still,
Yeah.
There was 3 of them, and they were boys. And they were. I just thought that was hilarious.
And one of them was
they didn't.
black.
One of them was black, and they were like, "Okay, Sheriff Dollar." And he was like, "I'm gonna bring them back here because they're gonna see when you look up their dresses. I don't know."
He had a hair up his butt for sure.
the point about get your hand off my dick, buddy. Patrick Swayze, before filming the scene where that happens, Patrick secretly placed a corn cob down the front of his underwear. So Chris Penn's expression of shock upon putting his hand up Swayze's dress was not faked. He was like, what the fuck?
That's all.
Oh my
hilarious.
gosh, he put a corn cob in
cob.
his pants. That's
Mhm.
funny.
Not even a cucumber, a corn cob.
Because he's
The corn cob. Well, they were in Nebraska, y'all.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
This
Is
was
that where they
filmed-
were? They were in Nebraska?
Yes, which I took special note of because I'm originally from Nebraska. Not from that kind of a town, though.
West Virginia. I mean, West Virginia, right?
Hey, no, you're far from it. He's like, that guy, where do you think we are? Well, that guy back there only had 2 teeth, so I guess we're in West Virginia.
West Virginia. It's a great way to assume where you are.
Stereotyping people.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of like this movie, it's like over the top, like on purpose. Everything is a stereotype, including like the townspeople. But the people, I was taken aback. I don't know about you guys, but like the people in this town. I mean, I know it was played up for the campiness, but what did you like? The sheriff is like, we don't like white girls palling around with N-words and spit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Like, do you think someone would say that in 95? Or
Yeah.
is it just played up?
It depends on where you
Depending-
are. Yeah. in the
depending
right
on
place,
where
they'll
you
say that.
are.
Absolutely.
In this type of a town, and like I guess it's like that's where we are. This type of town.
Still say it now.
Right. And again,
Um,
it's 95. And yes, exactly.
And then
That-
he also tries to like the same officer tries to rape. You know.
yeah,
like,
he's a racist and a rapist. What?
Yeah.
You're a shitty person.
Yeah.
Period. You're just a shitty
Backwoods
person. And there's
cops
shitty
that
people out there.
They don't have
you know?
any
Ugh.
oversight and any morals, none of that. They just think they can do whatever they want.
And then the hillbilly townies that also try. They're like super
Rapey.
rapey.
Oh my god. Yeah, I would have been like, what? Teaching the
Oh
person
my god! I was
hey,
like, oh.
hey, what's up? But talking, not realizing like she's walking into a setup. It was a little uncomfortable. Just
Very uncomfortable. Oh
Mhm.
my god. She gets saved by Jason London's character.
That's how you pick up
And
a
then
lady.
yeah.
Then
so-
Blythe Danner, her character, actually, like her crush is I forget his name. Billy? No, Joseph Joe. What was Jimmy Joe? Jimmy Joe.
Oh, the mechanic guy.
She calls. No, he's the like
He has the
runs
cafe.
the-
Okay.
The
he runs
cafe,
the restaurant.
Yeah.
and she likes him, like romantically likes him, but calls him colored.
Oh
He
yeah.
is the nicest colored man that I've ever seen, or
I-
that you could ever know, or something like that.
Yeah,
It's a little icky because that's how they would refer to people of color, colored man. You know,
but like
rather
she
than
likes
something
him.
else.
It's
She thinks
just,
it's
like,
appropriate.
wild.
Yeah.
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 It's just
That's the polite way to say black.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're like all the stereotypes. Again, I think some of it was played up for campiness and like also to kind of like make fun of this backwoods type town. But yeah,
there-
yeah.
Like there was a lot of things, like even the jokes that Wesley Snipes was making towards Chief, which was
Yeah, yeah.
kind of inappropriate. He's like, look at her. She's running like she's running for what? She's crossing the border. You know,
Yes.
like just talking a bunch of stuff. And I was just like that's kind of insensitive.
Lots of stuff. I mean, I know, again, on this show, we talk about it's like really hard to place today's standards on things made back in the day,
Right.
but we see it. Like, it's interesting how, and like just even how Wesley was like explaining the differences between the different types of trans, but the words that he uses are not appropriate terms that we would use today, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it
I
was
found that really interesting.
like, wow,
Yeah.
do we use that?
Yeah.
Well, there's a difference because transvestite is actually a man, a straight man
Mhm.
who just wears dresses. Does not identify
And
as
that's
a
what
woman.
he
Just
says,
wears
yeah.
dresses. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's appropriate because they're not actually
Okay.
transgender. They just put on the clothes, but they don't.
And he's like, and if you're a gay man who just has way too much style for one gender, you're a drag queen or something like that. Yeah.
When a tired little Latin boy puts on a dress.
He's a boy in a dress. He's a boy in a dress. Oh. Was okay. So I also loved, again, stereotypes, but each lady, each of our girls has their own very specific aura style. Like Wesley, aka Noxie, I feel like she is just like this over the top, like diva, fabulous.
Flashy,
You know,
sequins, everything all the time.
Patrick is like the like classy old money
Southern Belle.
Yeah.
rich lady,
Yeah.
and
And her Sunday best.
Chi-Chi. Well, how would you best describe Chi-Chi? Like very stereotype, cheap tartlet, like
Yeah.
Latina
like a fast girl
stereotype.
on the corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a hot tamale, as they say.
Ah, that's good. I like that.
I'm not saying
Um,
streetwalker, but
Like a
just
hot tamale, short skirts,
Mhm.
low cut tops,
short
Mhm.
shirt,
yeah.
heels.
Right.
Like she had a stripper shoes. The shoe that was left, it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
stripper shoe. Excuse me,
Mhm.
ladies who that was a
The
stripper
clear-
shoe.
They're still stripper
Yep,
shoes.
it
They're
was.
still, they're still clear
Yeah,
yeah.
platform heels.
Mhm.
Mhm.
More
Well, I
colors.
loved how Vita kicks Virgil's ass because he's a freaking wife beater, like
Mhm.
a vile. I don't know. Well, speaking of him, at the end, what are we meant to believe happens between him and Carol Ann, his wife?
Maybe
I think they stay
So-
together, and he continues his behavior, and nothing changes in that capacity because she didn't put his bags out.
But he drove away. So I was like, what?
Maybe he's going to
he
get
ran
therapy.
away with it. Yeah, like maybe he just needed an ass
right.
kicking and he got that ass kick. But Vita asked her to come with him, Carol Ann, to go with them. Leave your children and come with. And she's like, oh, like what does that look like? Like that's so strange.
She basically says, yeah, but if I didn't have these girls to raise, I kind of would
Yeah.
love to. Yeah.
Maybe she comes back with a tough one. Like,
I will
that's great,
throw
and it's
hot
toxic.
grits on you.
Yeah, just stay in line, Virgil. I don't
Mhm.
know. Like she didn't really when he looked at her. She just like
She's like, yeah, I see you.
her nose is turned. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
I would like to believe that he changed. He's no longer a wife beater, but history tells us
Yes,
otherwise, I think.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
so Sheriff isn't dead, and he's on this like Venge tour, and everyone makes fun of him. You know, again, that's like another stereotype. Oh, you got attacked by a bunch of women. He's like, they were boys in a dress. And he eventually meets up. He finds them all in this town, and they're at the strawberry social, right? So he outs the girls, and they're afraid, of the repercussions of that. But massively surprisingly so, The whole town just now finds out that they're men in drag, but like amazingly, they all stand up for the girls.
I'm a drag queen.
Yeah.
He was disgusted. Jared Dollar was just like disgusted by black folk. That was the vibe I got. Anytime he felt like someone black, he just move on. But then when he was like, I'm a drag queen right here. His face was like, oh, like just like disgust. But I
well,
was like,
he doesn't like anybody that's not a white cis person.
Man, 'cause
Right,
You know he
anything
doesn't like
else-
women either.
Ma-
He's,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, true.
it's just-
he's just weird. But I did was like, of course, it's a happy ending because
Yep.
the town like supports them anyway, and they're probably like, hey, like these people changed our town. We like them. They're cool. They're not bad people. We had the opportunity to know them. So let's, protect our town, protect
our friend,
our drag queen.
our drag
Yeah,
queens,
protect them.
our drag queen.
They brought so much excitement to this like other
Yeah,
these townspeople like were shown like their lives are really quite dull and
yeah. They
you
kind of
know.
shook it up for them.
yeah they did.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a movie, obviously, and it is camp. Like the whole movie is campy. Like obviously, that would not happen in real life. But
Right.
they'd probably be coming with their pitchforks if it were a real life in this type of town. But so then the girls they say their heartfelt goodbyes. They drive off in their
Black.
old timey yellow convertible Cadillac, and then we cut to Hollywood at the America pageant, and
Mhm.
Chi-Chi wins.
Her face was giving. Everything was giving. Before, like the off-color
Yeah,
foundation, like she looked like
She's
a
like, I should-
ghost.
I should
That-
find a foundation that better matches
Pale.
my skin tone.
Right, but she gave it all, and I was like, "Oh, that walk!" And I was like,
Mhm.
"Ooh!" I was like, "Yes, queen, yes." And yeah.
she's all classy now. So she did graduate.
She had an Eliza Doolittle
become a-
moment.
Yes. And Julie Newmar, that's where she comes in, presents the crown. So that's the ending. Yeah. I thought it was like so much fun. And I did not realize, I was like, what is the title? Like the title of this movie is weird.
Mhm.
I don't know if it like super explains like what the movie is about, but apparently, so there's an autographed picture. Oh, and then Patrick gives the picture because he took the frame from the China Bowl. He gives it to Carol Ann, like as a parting gift to remember her by. And apparently the title comes, the author Douglas Carter Bean. He saw that picture on the wall of that actual restaurant in the
Oh.
mid-80s.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
And he was probably like, "Who's Wong
Who
Fu?"
Wong
We
Fu?
still don't know who Wong Fu is.
Yeah,
Thanks.
nobody knows who Wong Fu.
Big
Yeah.
I guess Wong Fu is the owner of the restaurant.
Maybe.
To
It's
Wong
called the
Fu,
China
Yeah,
Bowl.
to Wong Fu.
The China Bowl,
Thanks
yeah.
for everything. Thanks for the food. Julie Newmar.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be.
And then Patrick Swayze, he's like, "Stop, hang on, someone is listening in on this conversation." Oh, Julie Newmar.
I know because I'm super into bone structure, and like in the opening scene, I was like, "Damn, Patrick Swayze's got great bone structure, like his jaw and his." I was like, "Oh, I love him. I think he's like like of a human man, one of the most
He's
like,
perfection.
yeah, a little bit like one. I have like about 5 of those, and he's one of them.
He's one of the
Right?
people that the
So-
aliens should have abducted when they had their opportunity
Yeah,
to
yeah,
study
yeah, yeah.
humans.
When they started making the
He's the
clothes.
perfect specimen.
He kind of is. I'm like a big fan. I read his book and everything. Like he's really spectacular. Anyway, he apparently earned the role. Like he was the last person. Like a bunch of people auditioned for the role of Vita. He earned the role apparently by improvising a 30-minute monologue that was inspired by the bullying that he suffered as a boy studying ballet in Texas.
He was a dancer.
He was a dancer.
30-minute monologue.
That's long.
Yes. And somewhere else I read, the director said that it was his walk that ultimately like persuaded her to give him the role. And he was like, let me put on, he had his team of people do him up, make him up as a woman. He's like, let's like go out on the town, like walk with me around town and see if I can pass as a woman the way he walked. And he did. He had that like very graceful, he's a dancer. So he has like a graceful nature to him.
Mhm.
And so apparently that's what sealed the deal
Nice.
for him. Mm-hmm.
No Patrick.
Do you have any guesses for some of the other actors that auditioned for some of the ladies?
Kurt Russell.
No. No, but he did dress up in drag in Tango and Cash.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, Sylvester Stallone. Oh my gosh.
You know
I
who
still
I
love
get
that movie, too.
confused? Hang on. I used to get Mel Gibson and Kurt Russell because when Mel
Oh.
Gibson was in like Lethal Weapon, the Lethal
Uh-huh.
Weapon movies, I feel like
Mhm.
was that Mel Gibson? The one-
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You confused them, really?
And I got maybe them kind of confused.
I mean, I can see like in the same
Good, good.
category of actor, but no.
No.
See, because Kurt Russell's very handsome, and I do not think that Mel Gibson is at all. Plus, he's kind of a shitty guy.
He is a
Yeah.
shitty guy. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
I didn't see anybody else for Wesley Snipes, but for Vita, oh, actually, Mel Gibson. Speaking of Mel Gibson, he briefly flirted with the idea of playing Vita.
He-
Yeah,
One of the
Let me
doctors.
see.
And who do I think would have auditioned?
yeah.
Richard Gere.
No, I don't
Nope.
like Richard Gere. Back in the 90s. It has to be a 90s.
Yeah.
90s.
I don't know if you'll guess them, honestly.
Tell us, Katie, please tell us.
Well, one of them we talked about, William
William
Baldwin,
Baldwin.
was one of them.
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr.
I can see that. I can see Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I can too. I
He
can
did
too.
a lot of what do you call it? Not risky, but like a lot of, roles that
Oh,
were like
yeah.
pushing the envelope at that
Yep.
time.
Controversial.
There you go. Thank you.
Mm.
Controversial roles.
Words.
Mhm.
Gary Oldman?
Really?
Yeah, I did read somewhere like he thought about it, but then he was like, no, I don't want to do all the like makeup because he was just coming off Dracula and like having to do,
With
like,
Keanu
hours
Reeves.
and
There's a lot
hours of being
Keanu
made
Reeves crossover people.
yeah.
Okay.
Matthew Broderick, James Spader, John Cusack. Yeah, I
And
don't see
Cusack?
that at all.
Interesting.
Yeah. Robert Sean Leonard, who I don't know who that is.
Robert Shaw
Willem
Leonard is
Dafoe.
black.
Maybe
Okay,
he was not.
He's from Save the Last Dance. Isn't that him?
Oh, no, that he would have been way too. You're thinking of Sean. His name is, he's too young, right?
Yeah, he would be, I guess.
He would have been too
Who the hell is
young.
Robert Shaw Leonard?
I don't know. I should look it up, eh? Willem Dafoe, John Turturro, Matt Dillon.
John Turturro. I would love to see John Turturro as a drag queen.
Yeah. Some of the reason why Wesley and Patrick were so like great is because they're both so like hyper masculine.
Mm.
Like, it's clearly that they're not women.
Yeah.
Both Matt Dillon and Rob Lowe and Tom Cruise. And those
Tom
three
Cruise.
we
Why?
just talked about because I just released the Outsiders episode, and all three of those guys were in the Outsiders.
Yeah. Tom Cruise, never.
Johnny Depp, I can totally see. He would have been pretty. I can see him being a pretty woman.
Yeah. Johnny Depp. But he was
And
yeah,
also-
old enough, I don't think.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Wasn't
might have
old enough at
been
that
young.
time.
Yeah, at that time. Yeah. He would have been pretty young. Same with Rob Lowe and Matt Dillon, though, now that I'm
Mhm.
thinking about it. Robin Williams also, but he ended up having a cameo.
Right.
And it's better that way.
Yeah. And Viggo Mortensen, actually. That was the last one.
Vigo.
Interesting.
I love him.
Interesting.
I think that would have been pretty good, too, because he's a very, like, manly man.
Mhm.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he was Master Chief.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Chichi Rodriguez, did you guys know that there's a golfer apparently with that same name?
Yeah, and he was pissed.
Yeah. Like a whole lawsuit and
Mhm.
everything.
Because he felt like it was
He-
making fun of him.
Nope,
Well,
I
he
did not
didn't
know.
want to be, he like didn't want to be linked to a gay character who dresses in drag. He felt like that harmed his
It
reputation.
has nothing to do with you, sir.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yep.
Narcissist.
Yeah. The town that we see in the movie, Snydersville, I think is what it is in the movie. So a lot of the film was shot on location in a number of locations in Nebraska, including Lincoln and Omaha. I lived in Omaha for 12 years. But the little town is Loma, which I am from Nebraska and never even heard of it. Apparently it's like a tiny town about 30 30 miles from Lincoln. And it still has a mural on the side of the building currently that says "Welcome to Snydersville" from this movie.
Oh wow! I
wow.
want. Are they maintaining it? Do they repaint it every however often? Or is it all
I
chipped
have no
and-
idea. I'm gonna guess no.
I'm
I
sure,
bet they
like, I'm
don't.
sure it's a tourist attraction. I'm sure
Yeah.
it is. Like, it has to.
True. Good point. Yeah, something's got to bring people to
Loma.
like these little small towns. Loma. Yeah. Swayze gave out Tiffany and Company makeup compacts as gifts to all the drag queens that he had gotten to know during the production, like the people that were like helping them get in character, and then all the extras and stuff. I thought that was
Okay.
really
Yeah,
nice.
that's really nice.
Great. Very sweet.
So John Leguizamo had to slim down for his role. And I thought this was funny because I'm vegan and you're vegetarian, aren't you, Sonny?
Yeah.
He says John Leguizamo went on a vegetarian diet
Mm-hmm.
6 months before shooting in order to lose muscle mass to appear more svelte and feminine. I just think that's funny because there's vegan bodybuilders and stuff but whatever.
I feel, and he probably, honestly, when I first like danced with vegetarianism, I was really playing the line of vegan and didn't realize it because I was staying away from like, dairy and cheese and
Yeah.
stuff. And when a man changes anything like their diet and they stop eating X, Y, and Z, they just shed weight and stuff.
Oh.
So
Especially
Yeah.
a man
Yeah,
in
I
his
had
20s, which he
hoped-
was at that time.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point. I know. I was vegetarian for like ever since I was like 12. And then, like 10 years ago, I finally was like, I'm going to fully go vegan. And I was like, sweet, I'll lose some weight. Nope, did not lose any weight.
She's like, it didn't happen. My dreams were
No.
dashed.
No. I was like trying to think if there was any other trivia I thought you guys might think was funny or interesting. Oh, well, Swayze also did talk about this in his book. That apparently is very uncomfortable for these men to be women. Like, yeah, it's painful sometimes to be pretty. Hello. But apparently, upon completion of the film, they burned their costumes, wigs, and makeup because it took them forever every day to get into costume, and it was very uncomfortable. And
They had to bind things and hide stuff.
Okay, I hope they not all the clothes that they wore, but I hope I felt like their outfits were like really good. Like their costume designers were well. Like the wigs were fun. They burned the wigs. I don't like, hey, don't do that. That's expensive.
yeah, like donate it somewhere. Yeah.
Something.
Man,
But I get
I
it.
don't know. Yes. So you know how there was a billboard in this that had Coca-Cola on it?
Gotta love that chi.
Yeah, instead of Coca-Cola. So I knew there was a reason why I never liked McDonald's and why I have had a Diet Coke addiction for like my whole life. So that scene, there was apparently a scene involving the drag trio dining at a McDonald's.
Well,
It was scrapped because McDonald's did not want to be associated with drag queen culture.
We don't want no drag queens in our restaurants.
Oh.
Whatever.
Mhm.
McDonald's, get alive.
oh.
On the other hand, Coca-Cola agreed to the product placement and a billboard is seen prominently. So go Coke, boo McDonald's. And with that, we must now return to present day reality until next time. Brandy, Sunny, I cannot thank you enough for joining me to relive 1995 and this groundbreaking movie, albeit pretty dated, by today's standards. I would love to hear your final thoughts on the movie, and then please don't forget to tell us where we can find you.
Ready to go for it?
Final thoughts on the movie. I feel like everybody should watch it at least once. I mean, even the men folk around here are just getting them to watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show is like they clutch their
Grow up.
pearls. So I'm like, okay, well, this was a good one to watch. It's fun. There's some masculinity going on in there. Yes, bring all the kids to watch the movie. It's fun. It's a good time. And it can be your first introduction to drag queens if you've never been, never met one, never seen one in person. Watch them on TV. Watch them on the big screen. Because RuPaul's Drag
Mhm.
Race, No, you gotta watch Tu Wong Fu. Period.
I like it. I like it.
I will echo that. I feel like this movie was my first dance into drag and seeing them on screen or, any type of exposure. And it's a really fun movie. Like I said, I think the actors that played the queens did a phenomenal job. It is dated in regards to like lots of things that are being said. And, situations which are kind of scary. But I think it is a great movie, and I do recommend. If you guys want to learn more about Brandy and myself and our podcast, Book of Life Podcast, you can visit us on at bookoflifepodcast.com. We're on all the social platforms, on X, Twitter, it's Book of Life Pod, on Instagram or Facebook, Book of Life Podcast. And if you want a tasty dog treat, beautybiscuits.com. Apricot Live.
And Rambo and Balboa give their 5 stars to
Yeah.
these biscuits.
Yeah.
Your dogs are named after Stallone characters. Oh my god,
Girl, I co-host on a podcast all about Rocky, so yes.
Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
There we go. Full
Mhm.
circle.
I do love me some Stallone. I agree. And yes, please check out their podcast. And thank you all for listening or watching. Please share the show with other retro junkies so we can all reminisce together. And reviews, please. Until next time, be kind, rewind.